Hello everyone and welcome to Eve Basics. Thanks for stumbling onto my video. In this one we're going to talk about shield tanking. You should watch the armor tank one video first if you haven't, because I'm going to refer to a lot of the same terminology in this one and I'm not going to go into it in as much detail as I did in armor tank. So we're just going to go over the shield tank. Here I fit up a rock, or perhaps a rock. No one knows how to say anything in EVE Online. It's fine. I love being a galante. But anyway, shield tanking is actually one of my favorite kinds of tanking. I feel like I should have been Kaldari, but whatever. It's too late for that now. So here is the deal with shield tanking. It works very similar to armor tank. Your shield resists are up here, and your total shield percentage, not total shield percentage, total shield hit points is right here. Okay, so let's take a look at first an example of an active shield tank. There is the same thing, the shield reinforcer rigs, which raise a specific resistance type. The EM1 gets used a lot up here because that is the shield's natural resistance hole. And so that one sort of ends up in this slot. If you don't know what else to do with a shield tank ship, you should just slap one of these guys up here. It'll help you out. Unless, of course, you know that that type of ship that you're building is not going to be used for any content that deals any EM damage. All right, I know. But for the most part, generally, this is the one that I feel gets used the most up here, followed by thermal. So the large defense core, well, before we get into these other two rigs, let's talk through this. Let's talk through this. Hey, damage control, it's always good on every ship. There we go. Okay. Large shield boosters, these are the things that when you activate them, they heal your shields. You've got your regular type. You've got your ancillary type. Unlike the ancillary armor repper, this does not take nanite paste. It takes good old-fashioned cap boosters. Now the deal with this, actually I did this wrong, I will explain this in a second. When this has cap boosters in it, it uses significantly less capacitor to function. It always functions the same no matter what, but once your cap boosters run out in this thing, it starts going bonkers on your batteries. Alright, right now this doesn't have any batteries in it, and I mean this thing is depleted in 40 seconds, negative 873. I've never seen such a number. So what you're going to do with this, and the weird thing about this is, it's used with these, but as far as I can tell, whether you fit it with 150s or whether you fit it with 200s doesn't really seem to matter that much. It's a little bit strange to me that that's how it works. It's like the capacitor is still the same and it still functions exactly the same, 507 hit points per second, 507 hit points per 3.4 seconds. So you always just want to use the smallest possible cap booster size you can with the shield booster here. There is no reason to cram the giant cap booster into your cargo hold. They're big enough as it is, for crying out loud. So use the smallest one you can in here. While this is running, it is double the effectiveness of the other one while you have booster charges. Alright, similarly to the armor ships, we have shield hardeners instead of armor hardeners. They're shield hardeners. This is a multi-spectrum, but they come in all 5 flavors. This is a shield boost amplifier. It makes your shield boosters better. So this is 269. Without this, 207. Right? So this buddy is real good at making you heal even more. And this is a passive shield amplifier. This comes in only 4 flavors. Unlike the armor, which has the multi-spectrum energized thingamajigger, shields do not have such a thing. There's 2 rigs that will also make your shield booster better. This one will also mess with your cap because it makes it cycle faster, so you got to watch out for that. But with it off, per 4 seconds, with it on, per 3.4, so it's a little bit better. You can always check your shield boost right here. So with it on, 228, and with it off, 194, significant bump. But it will also increase your signature radius, which is sometimes already a problem for shield tank ships because the bigger this number gets, the easier it is for bad guys to hit you with stuff. So you need to weigh the benefits, and you can always lower the drawbacks by training this skill. This guy here reduces the capacitor need of these modules, and it will also increase your signature radius. So, there's a drawback to that too. And this thing, these two are kind of funny because they kind of balance each other out in a way. So anyway, this one, it says, it's always so cryptic. It's designed to reduce the capacitor need of modules which require shield operation skills. It's a little bit tricky, but you can go into your skills and you can figure out exactly what those modules are by just right-clicking Show Info on your Shield Op skills and see Required for. It's good for all of these. They're basically all your shield boosters, yeah, maybe it's just shield boosters, I guess. They should just say shield boosters then, because it's literally just all shield boosters. But they don't want to. They want to be all cryptic about it and say shield operation. But that is all the modules for an active shield tank. Now, we're going to go to buffer shield. Same deal with this. These are the modules you're going to be mostly using if you have some kind of Logi that can heal your shields in combat. So we're going to see a couple old flames here. The large EM shield reinforcer. Remember 4 flavors of that. We're going to see a new buddy up here, large core defense field extender, which basically just boosts your shield hit point amount, and it's percentage based again. So, you know, the more hit points, the better this is. This will increase your signature radius. That's basically all the penalties for shields, is increasing your signature radius. We still got our hardeners available in this because we want to boosting our resists. The shield amps are still here because, again, boosting our resists. Damage controls here because it's always good. Get yourself a lot of these damage controls, kiddo. And this is our new buddy here, large shield extender. This is the way you get most of your hit points. Between this extender and this extender, you can really do a lot of extending. So with a bunch of these on, everything just gets bonkers. Buffer shield tank like this is pretty easy. The interesting thing about buffer shield tank, unlike armor tank, armor does not have a passive way to regenerate itself, but shields do. So you'll also, as you increase your amount of shields, you will also increase your passive shield regen. Now, this is never significant in a full buffer shield tank, but it's something. As you increase the amount of your shield's hit points, since it recharges fully over 2,000 seconds, the amount it recharges per second has to go up. So it's something. It's you still get a little bit of a passive regen as you beef up your buffer tank. Which brings us to our third kind of shield tank, and in fact, one of my favorite types of tanks in the game, which is passive shield. You don't have to do anything. You can just sit back and relax and let the passive shield do all the work. So we're going to see some of our old buddies. One of these enforcers, 4 flavors, 5 flavors of the hardener, 4 flavors of the amplifier, shield extenders, which are always good in this, and our damage control. But there's 4 new modules joining us on this little journey. One is a shield recharger 1. This will give you, improves the recharge rate of the shield with no drawbacks or anything. So literally just slap it on and your shield recharge rate is going to go down. So this number here, 921 seconds to fully recharge, boom, 829. If it's recharging the same amount of hit points within a lesser time, it's going to be recharging more per second. That's simple as that. Defense Field Purger, same deal. It increases your signature radius and improves your recharge rate. So these are real good. You can see that this has a very big effect on the recharge rate. It also significantly does make your signature radius bigger. These guys are great as a 3 of up here. You've got your Shield Flux Coil, which will cost you overall shield hit points for just heavier regen. These I find are really good as for PvE content, when you can control kind of how much burst you're going to take. The amount of hit point regen on these things is just plain bonkers. And the drawback isn't that bad. Total hit points is not usually a problem. It's not really what you're going for in PvE most of the time. For solo missions and things like that. And then there's these guys. These guys are good too. They shield power relay. They will make your shield regen eat up parts of your capacitor. So the drawback for this, instead of losing shield hit points, you divert power from the capacitor to shields. So your capacitor numbers go down with this. But otherwise, you can do some bonkers stuff with shield fit stuff. Like we saw with this Megathron in the armor, the active armor. If I have both my reppers on and I put some like nanite paste in here, we can see that our armor rep maxes out here at about 253 per second. And that's takes significant cap to pull off. But what is this nonsense? With passive shield regen, you can build just goofy stuff like this, where this Nereus has a passive shield regen of 284 hit points per second, just like lots of passive shield stuff. And again, the thing with passive shield is the shield extenders are part of the equation, because again, the more hit points you have, the more are recharged every second. So if you watch, if I put more of these on, I'll go from 34 hit points a second to 40 hit points a second. So it's kind of finding that balance between how much you want to boost this versus how much you want to boost that. And it's all about just kind of tweaking it to fit your skills mostly. So that's shield tanks in a nutshell. In Tankstravaganza Part 3, we're going to talk about hull tanking and speed tanking. So join me for that, and I'll see you there.